We'll talk about this just to give my context perspective on, put it in place. The vice presidential debate had happened the other day. And basically, we have a poll because I am the poll man. We will go ahead and look at this poll. And the results are absolutely shocking. Just kidding. They are pretty banal. 48% of debate watchers thought that Vance was the winner, or turned in the best performance, while 46% thought that Waltz was the winner or did his best. Basically, we have a statistical tie with Vance slightly edging out in terms of who people thought were going to win this debate. Maybe you could even say this is a slightly Democrat-leaning result. I would have probably said maybe it was 55-45, but honestly, a result like this is pretty much exactly what I would have expected. This wasn't a knockout blow on either side like it was, clearly in the Biden-Trump debate or in the Kamala versus Trump debate. But yeah, I will say, we have these like 2 hour long debates, and if you watch it, you sort of, there's a lot of good policy actually. It was more of a cordial debate this time, more of a normal debate. I don't know if people were really into it so much. I sort of found myself tuning out every now and then. JD Vance goes on these long-winded, technical, right-wing spins, and it sort of gets annoying after a while. But he is good at the debate format. I can't deny he did a good job overall, except for the fact that, and we'll go into just these sort of two most notable moments that we had here. If not for this one moment, I would have said JD won this debate pretty handily, like 65 or 70%, to Waltz's like 30%. If not for this moment, and I'll explain why.
He is still saying he didn't lose the election. I would just ask that. Did he lose the 2020 election?
Tim, I'm focused on the future. Did Kamala Harris censor Americans?
The look from Waltz. I mean, we don't necessarily because you basically have the moment right there, right? It's like point blank, did Donald Trump lose the 2020 election? Do we live in reality or do we not live in reality? Whose side are you on? Reality or Donald Trump's, fascist wet dream nightmare scenario? And he's not able to answer the question. And Tim Waltz is shocked, and that's the that should be the audience response. How can we have people running the country that don't exist in reality or that portend to go on to deny elections and overthrow elections that they don't agree with? Um, it's absolutely maddening, and this is something that loses independents and moderate Republicans, the very few of them that are left. You can't do it if you're JD Vance, you're in a just impossible position. So he goes and does that, and basically the odds, the big swings 50-50 at that point. And the reason why it wasn't an absolute knockout for Waltz is that he's obviously not very good at this. He didn't sort of present very well. He had sort of crazy eyes the whole time. He looked stressed. He was very nervous, definitely in the beginning, and he sort of settled in, but he never really lost this sort of jerky, unsettling nature to himself. He was able to get into a rhythm eventually. But this was a point where he had a really bad slip up, and I heard it live, and I just did one of these face palms, and because, well, let's just go play the clip, and then.
An assault weapons ban, but only later in your political career did you change your position. Why?
Yeah, I sat in that office with those Sandy Hook parents. I've become friends with school shooters. I've seen it. Look, the NRA, I was the NRA guy.
Yeah, and that's basically that. I've become friends with school shooters. Obviously, he would have meant I've become friends with school shooter victims, right? That would be what logically follows in that sentence if you just sort of put the context together. But of course, people on the right heard that and they said, "Oh my God, what a freak, what a psycho!" And they've made stupid memes. And Elon Musk is running with the misinformation on his freedom of speech platform that all of a sudden is censoring left-wing voices and promoting right-wing conspiracy theories and all kinds of nonsense. So those were the two main moments, right? You just have more reality denialism from JD Vance and just digging into that election denialism with which people are tired of and they hate, and which could potentially end up losing them this election. It's cost them several elections before, look at Georgia, for example, and look at the 2022 midterms. And then, yeah, just Waltz clearly out of practice. He should have done more interviews and prep for this. It's obviously not his wheelhouse. He does better in just sort of one-on-one TV spots, jousting with the TV people and getting his talking points out. But yeah, that's pretty much that in terms of that debate. At the end of the day, not going to affect if the last debate with Kamala Harris and Donald Trump didn't affect anything, which it really didn't. The polls went up for like a point or so on average, and they've kind of gone back ever since then. Um, Maybe more people will know about the two of them now. I just don't think it affects anything at this point. I can't see JD Vance's approval going up for the reasons we put out, and same thing with Tim Walz. He's already kind of popular, amongst people that know him. So yeah, I think it's just gonna be I think it's gonna be steady. I don't see anything changing because of it. So let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys in the next one.